Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The Book is Dave Sherapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are the Bostonian versus the Book.
You covered 12. I covered.
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus the Book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sherapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
Happy Roll Call Friday, boys and girls. It is time for our first full football weekend. Dave Sherapan and Matt Perrault, the Bostonian versus the Book, live on our YouTube channel at Boston versus the Book and on Twitter, X, whatever you guys want to call it. Same handle at Boston versus the Book. We are replayed every night on Sports Grid TV and on Sirius XM channel 159. Late night people, thank you for watching and listening. We love you too. Appreciate you guys being part of the brigade. Dave, not one, but two guests and a return of the old radio segment I used to do when you used to come on and talk about football games. We'll do a Fight Song Friday today. How are you? Happy Roll Call Friday.
Love it. Love it. And, oh, by the way, we got a game in Brazil. We got an NFL game in Brazil on a Friday. But, yeah, you guys know, if you're here and you're new, this thing we do kind of just took control and just started running and going, and now it's football season officially. NFL weekend. We had a crazy game last night. Chiefs won. That's for you, JC from KC. We'll talk about that. But Roll Call Friday is a special day. Got everybody showing up, different places. So in exactly like 1 hour and about 15 minutes from now or so, about 75 minutes away, you get in the chat. You leave a super chat, you guarantee you get seen. You leave a chat, say where you're watching the show from with a 3-digit area code and a message. I'll read it. We'll shout you out. It's officially football season. It's done. Like all that, like it's coming, it's here, it's this, it's that. We just signed up 2 people for the proxy service down there. It was good to see Jules. You guys, Julian called us and we got him taken care of, and got another guy from California. So we can cross off Rhode Island today and California on the map. That's a good start because Rhode Island is at one of those states that was always sticky. We never really found anybody. Well, Chef B's
Benny.
always there.
Chef Benny's there.
He's traveling. He's a dad now. So he's, he doesn't always dab the map, but we'll dab the map. This is a good day. Just like Ice Cube said, today's a good day.
Yeah, Nikki, I don't think Dave said it yesterday. There really wasn't a public or sharp side yesterday. There were money on both sides. There was we had tons of people on the Chiefs last night. That was so public versus whatever you want to call it. It was there wasn't any real, and it was, as Dave said, the perfect number because it came down to a toe. And we'll get to the game here in a second. But
incredible,
came down to a toe. So if you're a Chief backer, go knock on wood somewhere because you're going to need it this weekend, because I guarantee you the gambling gods will even it up this weekend for you at some point in time. You'll get a bad break after the break you got last night because the game was going to go. They were going for 2 there, guys. Ravens were going for 2. That was not going to overtime. In case
did that surprise you?
Not at all. That's what he did. I wouldn't have given the ball back to Mahomes. No way in hell.
Well,
but before we do that,
they would have played overtime.
No, they would have gone for 2.
No, but I mean, if he kicks a field goal, they would have played overtime. It wouldn't have been the worst.
I mean, kick the extra point, sure, but like he does. I wouldn't give it back to Mahomes. Mahomes can go there and score a touchdown. No way. I don't want any part of that. Remember the rules. So it's not, both teams don't touch the football, only in the playoffs. So I wouldn't give it to him either. But I think there's going to be. Well, let me say this. If you guys are part of the Brigade Proxy Service, this is the first time in 3 months we don't have a Brigade Proxy Service read or segment because it's pretty much over. This is it. This is the last day. Tomorrow, 2 p.m. Saturday. If you are in town, if you are in need of proxy service, give us a call, give us a text, 702-750-8255. We'll do our best, okay? If we can't take care of you.
Shady's in the chat right now. I guess we're meeting him tonight. I forgot about that. I knew we had an appointment tonight. Hello, Shady. We'll see you later. Absolutely.
Perfect.
Yes.
Okay. So if you're coming in, there might be the last one for tonight. If you're coming in, we'll try our best to get you taken care of. If we can't take care of you, we know people who can. We've got friends in the business that can take care of you. We'll get you in. So don't freak out. We'll do our best coming up on that. So looking forward to starting tomorrow. If you are sending in your picks today, okay. Does it feel like people are more anxious today and yesterday than last year?
No.
It feels like
it's the same.
Like everybody's on edge. Like everybody's like so like we're all going to be, you're going to get your picks in, guys. You're going to go, everyone's going to be a part of this. I know it's super fun. Just feels like everybody's on a hair trigger at the moment.
Well, it is because, well, one, if you didn't use the game last night,
mm-hmm.
that game got everything flowing. That one really got it flowing. So they're like, all right, I want to get the picks in. I get this, I get that, the lines. How do I get the lines? One small request is that if you're a part of the Brigade Proxy Service and you want to look at everything, you can do that, just not Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. Just don't log into your account because it will lock the account, and that's an issue. And if you guys have sportsbook accounts, you know when your account is locked, it sucks.
Yeah.
You got to get in touch with customer service. You got to make phone calls. Just don't do it. So, request information all via email, brigadeproxy@gmail.com. We'll get you the information you need. The text line is 702-570-8255 to send the pics. It's right there on the screen. You can do that. And then the show, we have a website. It's nice. It's thebvbshow.com. Links to things directly and emails that Matt and I both see. So if you have questions, little Joey's killing it. It's little Joey's every day with a reflection of either the show or look ahead to tomorrow's games. We see them. It's been very busy for the past 3 months. We can't answer them all immediately right away, but that's the way to get in touch with us directly. It's college football Saturday. It's NFL Sunday. Anybody remember baseball? Is baseball done? No.
On Friday, Saturday, Sunday, baseball's done. Baseball comes back on Tuesday. Monday, kind of. But you get your Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday fix. And then your Friday, Saturday, Sunday is going to be all football.
Right.
Friday is now a college football day. There's so many games on Friday. I hate it. It used to be high school football. It was a, I don't want to call it a sacrilegious thing to play on Friday, but it really was frowned upon. It was frowned for the NFL to play on Saturday. It was frowned for college to play on Friday. Just let that Friday, Saturday, Sunday routine go. Friday's high school, Saturday's college, Sunday's NFL. That was the way we went. And now we're just stepping on everybody. So it kind of stinks, but I get it because the NFL stepped on, there used to be things that the NBA left alone. The NBA had Christmas. NFL said, screw you. We're playing on Christmas. That's just how it is. It used to be, those were the ways we had civility among men. No more. There's no more respect. I will play when I want to play, and you're going to have to deal with it because my stuff is more important than your stuff for whatever reason. But what happened last night, hell of a football game. KC defeats Baltimore 27-20 on a last second play. Literally comes down to a single toe. I think a lot of people are angry about this, but I don't think you can be angry about this. He's out, guys.
He's out.
That's pretty clear. Okay. I was on the Ravens. Okay. So I wanted the Ravens. I wanted this because the bet cashed and I would have gone 7-0 yesterday. I would have swept that game if that toe is 2 inches shorter than the white line. But I just can't believe that Likely came back into the game. I thought his shoulder was out. I thought he dislocated his shoulder. That part of Arrowhead where he fell, I've walked down there. That is straight cement. That is an old school stadium that has cement. The closer you get to the actual stands, whatever that is, the barrier that the stands begins, that is hard as hell. He fell right on that shoulder. And I'm like, oh no, he's had a breakout game. Mark Andrews, who? Likely was awesome. And then he came back. But the real play of that game, wasn't it the play before when Lamar
missed him.
He's got a wide open receiver in the end zone. I know he's running right and you're running right and you're throwing left. I get that. But man, would I have liked to have seen, and I get it. I'm not a quarterback. It's hard to do that, to stop in full speed, get hit by a guy and complete the pass. I get it. But stop and set your feet, Lamar. or throw. I mean, you had a guy, there was nobody around. That was the game. That was the throw.
Yep.
To make that happen.
Well, the obligatory, it's a game of inches. And
I thought of you. I was sorry. And I was like, Dave's going to say we fight for the inch.
We fight for that inch. I tweeted it last night, Al Pacino's, speech, and I was laughing. I'm like, I can't believe it. It's a game of inches. You're right, Jay.
That's a recruit.
That's a
recruit.
Never
seen J.10 before.
Welcome, J.10. Thank you for being here, sir, or ma'am, whichever one. I don't know from J-10, but thank you for being here. It is a game of inches. And there was no dispute. Like, as soon as you saw it, you're like, he's out. That's it. I mean,
I thought at first, I thought he was in. So I did my victory lap. I was running around because I knew Harbaugh was going for 2. It's like, this game's not going to overtime. I was like, I knew this was going to happen. And boy, oh boy, it was wild to see just the roller coaster of emotion that I went through and everybody went through, because it was like, oh my gosh, they could lose the game. If they get the 2-point conversion, they're going to lose the game. And then it turned into jubilation and celebration because the Chiefs won. Now, I would have won either or. So I either would have cashed +3 if that was a touchdown, or I cashed the teaser because the teaser was under 53. So that came in. The +9 came in. So 1-0 on my same game teasers on the year. So I'll take that. That was fun. Pedro, I'll read your thing in a second. Let's get through this game and then we'll get to your weather report. I do want to get a weather report. Xavier Worthy is going to be a problem.
A weather report actually from Brazil, from someone in Brazil.
On the ground.
Outstanding work, Pedro.
Because we're going to Lincoln and we're going to Iowa City to get on the ground information for the games tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get that Babbel or thing. I'm going to try to learn Portuguese quick.
Oh,
so we could get Pedro on. And
quick. Yeah,
it'd be a complete disaster. I mean, by the end of the season, maybe in between, we'll learn Portuguese a little bit just to talk to him.
Xavier Worthy is going to be a problem, is he not?
Did the Chiefs look like they were back? Like with Tyreek Hill speed, everything speed, Pacheco speed. Like maybe. Oh, that team speed was sick.
It's fast. No, those two players can absolutely fly. And they'll get Hollywood Brown back too. So they'll have a third weapon back. They didn't have one of their best receivers on the field last night. So they got him coming back, which is big. I don't know though, because I agree with Roquan Smith. This is the worst we'll play all season. I can promise you that. They didn't look good. Defensively, the Ravens, they got beat on very simple pass patterns. And it was weird. I couldn't figure out why Andy Reid was able to get his wideouts lined up on linebackers all game. Like that was mismatch all over the field. I couldn't figure that out. That's why they looked so fast, because they had linebackers covering them. Yeah. So that has to be reworked from the defensive side of the ball for the Ravens. They tackled well, which is really why they were in the game, but defensively was surprising to see. I mean, blown coverages, Worthy's second touchdown. There wasn't anybody within 30 yards of the guy. He's wide open. He's walked to the end zone.
First play though, that touchdown,
was pretty.
The end around, like
pretty.
The way that everybody ran, and we got a seal here, we got a seal here, and then that lane opened up, and he was bye-bye.
Yeah,
and
gone.
I just felt like watching it. The Chiefs were already at midseason form. It felt like to me.
Okay.
With the speed and the way they were, the misdirection. I mean, I don't even know. Did Travis Kelce catch more than 3 passes?
He was a non-factor.
Completely.
They took him out of the game. I mean, I think there was a double team bracket safety over the top with a linebacker underneath. Like Kelce wasn't going to beat them last night. That was like the only time only catches Kelce made were when it was a scramble drill. Both his catches came when Mahomes was just doing Mahomes things, running around and just finding time and getting the ball out. So it was not going to be Kelce. It was going to be somebody else. And it was Worthy. I mean, Worthy, as a rookie, scoring 2 touchdowns in his first ever game was huge. Incredible. The takeaway from the game, though, Dave, is the flags.
Oh, it's always the flags.
You didn't find that to be excessive, though, last night?
I mean, it is excessive. It has been excessive. This is not anything that anyone in the business, we've been saying this for a decade. It's not getting better.
Well,
It's
my
just
problem
more
with
noticeable.
my problem with it is, and this is my same problem with basketball. I'll say this till I'm blue in the face until I die. I don't have a problem with the referees call calls. I have an issue with inconsistency. Jawan Taylor is offsides, false starts every single play. You watch him, isolate him, watch him, and he is always ahead of the snap. Every time. They called it 2 times on him. Yeah. He was the most flagged guy last year. So if you're going to flag the offensive line for the Ravens, what was it, 5 times for illegal formation? If you're going to keep on doing that, then you have to call everything. If you're going to be that tight, you want to call it tight, call it tight. Make them adjust. I'm with that. But you can't let the Chiefs get away with that. Like, you just can't. Right. Like I don't care if they're the defending champs. I didn't like the roughing the passer call on Mahomes where they hit him in the head and hit him low. I didn't like that call. I thought that was completely legal, but fine. It's Mahomes. Brady got calls like that. You protect the face of the franchise, the face of the league. You protect him at all costs. I give you that. I didn't like the late hit call out of bounds when they went low on him because it was momentum and they just dove at his legs. It looked dangerous. It was dangerous. Didn't think it was illegal. It was dangerous. So they threw a flag. Okay. It offset a holding penalty that could have set the Chiefs back and could have caused that game to go a bit differently. But I just didn't like Taylor should be flagged as much as the line was flagged for the Ravens. I thought Taylor should be flagged for the Chiefs.
Ooh.
Didn't happen.
No.
Hi, Megan.
What about that horse collar?
Hi, Megan.
Hey,
what's going on?
Megan.
What's going on? Hi.
Rhythm, Megan. That's good. We'll see
Good
Megan hopefully on Monday.
Yes.
Better have us blocked off for the time spot because we're going to see you on Monday. We got a lot to talk about.
Rhythm Mondays. Let's go.
Did you see that call? It was a horse collar that wasn't a horse collar. The guy just grabbed the jersey.
Okay, so I got ripped on this because I agree with you. I was like, how in the heck was that a horse collar? So I guess they changed the rule that if you grab above the nameplate, which I think that's arguable, you can argue that he had the nameplate not inside the jersey or above the nameplate. If you grab it above, that's considered a horse collar, even though you're grabbing a jersey. I think that's ridiculous. I really do. But, that's there. Yeah. And the holding on Lamar's long run was an awful call. Like,
it was but I mean, and I always tell people, it's the beginning of the season for them too.
But they have gone through the emphasis
practice.
Right. But the emphasis from the league, I guess I read this last night. The league held conference calls with every team. And the referees informed the officials, informed the players, informed the teams that we are going to be scrutinizing a certain level, certain place. One is the formation. If your left tackle is not basically at the belly button of the center, we're flagging you for illegal formation. So that was told. That's why that flag came out as much as it did. But they also said they were going to flag false starts. If you get off early, we're going to flag it. Sorry.
Right.
Didn't happen nearly as much against the Chiefs. That was the frustration that I had. It was not, you can call that false start all season long. Did you? Yes. And they should call that false start all season long. Are they going to? No. But they should. If you're going to call, 5 formation penalties on the Ravens last night? Should have been 5 false starts. Should have been 5 false starts.
I don't know what the answer is. I don't want them calling more penalties, but I want them to call the penalties that are penalties.
Yes.
And that looks like a penalty. I mean, when you're watching it on TV, you're like, that looks like a penalty.
Yep.
And then it just kind of glossed over and nobody says anything about it. So, and I mean, listen, people complain about everything in the sports book. I've been listening to this nonsense for 20 years, always complaining about the refs, complaining about something. The game was great.
It was.
I really enjoyed the game. So I don't want to say what I got to call this more, but you can tell there is an emphasis. Something is said. We got to call this
more.
Beginning of the season, let everybody know.
And I thought they explained it pretty well last night on the broadcast. I think Collinsworth was saying that this is one of the first rule changes or emphases that we've seen for the defense because we've been so offensive heavy. Everything's been about, hey, we're going to look at defensive pass interference. We're going to look at defensive holding. We're going to look at offsides. We're going to look at different things to protect the offense, to make the offense more effective. This is now for the defense, meaning if you're a left tackle, you don't get to line up a yard off the ball to get a quick out on a pass play to be able to get to that edge quicker. So you got to be lined up flat, and then that should let the edge rusher get around more often. So I do like that. I think that is a fair. It has gotten egregious, but you can't let Jawan Taylor do what he's doing. Like you just can't. You can't let that guy be offsides every single play and not call it consistently. So everyone's saying on Twitter, like, just tell him to line up right. It's not that hard. Flag it until he lines up right. Yeah. Okay, well then flag it until the guy stops getting offsides. Every play, just flag it. And then hopefully he'll stop. If he doesn't, then, yes, Andrews and Kelsey both being non-factors was surprising. I would agree with that. But if I'm a Chief fan, I feel pretty good about that because you won and your offense looked good and Kelsey did nothing.
And they're able to, because when they lose in years past, it's because whoever took Kelsey away and they didn't have alternative means of production. That showed me last night. Everybody better be on watch. They got other ways of scoring and moving the ball. And right now, I love the beginning of the season when everybody's 100% too.
Right?
Like it's great.
Look at Lamar. Look what Lamar did last night.
Yeah.
110 yards rushing for Lamar Jackson last night. His prop was 48.5.
Yeah.
Doubled it last night. Lamar was awesome. And I think that's one of the concerns. I picked the Ravens to win the Super Bowl. I think Lamar Jackson's going to play at a ridiculous level all year. I think he'll win another MVP. I think he's going to be with Likely and with Flowers. I mean, I want to see more out of Mark Andrews, but the offensive line's an obvious concern. Like it was a concern going into the game. I think it's even more of a concern now if I'm the Ravens going, what's our biggest weakness? And it looks like the biggest weakness for the Ravens is going to be their offensive line. So how do they address that? Do they trade for somebody? Do they bring somebody in off the street? Like, what do they do to address the offensive line? Because Chris Jones ate them for lunch last night. Like he was all over the field. He made Lamar's life a living hell.
Got to shout out my boy Yorkie. He likes the Eagles stuff. He just got in the chat.
Here we go.
Watching the chat. Guys are loading up. I mean, we got a big crowd in here, audience. Before we really get started, just put the city you're watching the show from right now.
Sure.
Wherever you're at. And because that's practice.
Holy mother. Friday. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
No, we haven't. I mean, normally we don't hit this number of people watching this early on the show.
I just saw a bunch of people just
okay.
Something about this noontime Pacific, 3:00 Eastern. Like everybody just either
slides.
West Coast goes to lunch, says, hey, BBB, subscribe to the channel, guys, if you haven't already, because you get an alert every day when we start, as soon as we start, so you can get in here quick and early. But yeah, this is good. All right. We got
on
Pedro.
The field. This is in Brazil, site of Packers Eagles tonight.
Some infos. Hey guys, salve.
What does that mean?
I don't know, but Pedro,
like hello.
Love you. Thank you.
Okay.
I don't know. You're gonna have to tell us exactly what that means.
But
some infos.
What's that mean?
Significant to some, like SVP say about tonight's NFL game. The pitch is natural grass.
We don't call it the pitch, by the way.
It's okay, Pedro. Keep it coming.
Yeah.
Weather 77 degrees.
Wow.
63 minimum, partially cloudy, and 59% humidity.
That's
little
really
sticky.
Nice. What's the altitude going to be tonight?
Oh, someone's going to have to put that in the chat.
It's high up, right? It's at altitude. It's Sao Paulo.
Brazil at altitude?
I thought so. Yeah, it's up there.
So
that's why the weather.
Sao Paulo.
That's why the water. That's why the weather's decent.
You ever been?
Never been to Brazil. No, I've never left North America.
Salve is a Portuguese word that can be used as an interjection to express greetings or
salut.
Hail.
Okay, I get that, Nary. I get
right.
Now you're talking my language. Salut. Okay.
Salut. I love it.
Okay, so we're at
2,600 feet. It says, yeah,
2,700 feet.
Thanks, Rosie. Appreciate you being there, Rosie. Like that.
Okay.
On the walkie-talkie.
It's got to be high. The Jesus statue is there. Was that Christ the Redeemer, right? That's what it's called?
Is
the
it?
Christ the Redeemer statue?
I don't know. This is the religion part of the show.
Right.
I don't know. Thank you. I don't know.
We'll see what happens with that on all this. It's going to be fun to see how it all plays out. Let's do the 2 Friday night games, and then we'll get to Brommelkamp, and we'll talk Iowa State.
Friday night college?
Yes, tonight.
Oh man,
I know you're excited. BYU at SMU. Numbers 11. The total is 56. I have absolutely no idea what to make of this game. Somebody asked me today. I said I don't know what to make of this game. I
didn't even know this game was being played yesterday.
Correct. I thought now I do. Yes.
Right. When I said it, I was testing you to see if you're like, oh, the game's today? No, wait, they're tomorrow.
Oh,
which is
Dallas says take the over. He thinks points. BYU
Dallas
SMU.
is over. Okay.
Says take the over.
Yeah, I don't have a strong opinion either way. I mean, it made the rundown, but I was like, yeah, okay. Enjoy.
Duke at Northwestern in their makeshift, temporary place to play football before they build their new one on the
which
water.
Looks really cool.
It does. It's small. It's intimate. It's perfect for Northwestern. Perfect.
Yeah, why would they change it?
Because they're going to build. Yeah, they're going to build a new one. They're going to build one actually like it's supposed to be for football.
Well, I don't know.
The only play in this game is under, right?
Is it?
Yeah, it's the only play in this game is to bet under. You can't do it. You got to play under. You can't play anything else in this game. It's under. Yeah, this is an underplay. Duke Northwestern
37.
This is like a 17-10 final.
I don't know.
Rock fight.
Ugly game.
Ugly is right. Ugly
game.
Ugly rock.
Yeah.
Rock fight for this game. We'll see what ends up happening. All right. We're going to try something today, guys. This is always fun. Okay.
What?
So for those of you, and I know Todd's going to remember this because Todd was a part of these for a bit.
What?
When Dave and I used to do radio back in the day, one of the more fun things I was able to do, did a thing called Fight Song Friday. We're going to bring it back as long as we don't get in big trouble, but
no X's.
Let's talk Iowa State. On a Fight Song Friday,
bam!
Let's go and talk to our guy, one Mr. Todd Brommelkamp, who is on the ground for us. He is located in Iowa City, joining us here on versus the Brook. I don't know, Todd. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how YouTube makes us go with that. But how are you? Happy Friday. It's time for Cyhawk.
I'm fantastic. I'm ready for the Cyhawk. But first, I got a hat that I think even Dave probably doesn't have in his arsenal, and I got to break it out.
But you got to see this. What do you got?
Oh my!
Oh
my!
Oh!
You're killing me, Dave.
I'm sorry, but I don't have one of those. That looks great on your head. I didn't even think about this today because I had you lined up for all the Iowa State game. But like, are you a Packer guy?
You're talking to an owner of the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, pardon me. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Stupid enough to spend a lot of money on a worthless piece of paper.
That's tremendous.
I love it. Do you like them tonight?
I don't know what to make of that game. Did you read the story about the commute that they've got tonight?
No. This is why we have guys like you on, because you know about the commute. Tell the brigade and the people watching the show about the commute.
I read this on CBS Sports today. They anticipate it may take them an hour and a half to 2 hours to get to the stadium tonight because their hotel is so far away.
What?
And the Eagles hotel, they're the home team. The home team's hotel is a lot closer to the stadium where they're playing tonight. I don't know whether that's going to factor in or not, but yeah, they're saying that the Packers could be stuck in traffic for 2 hours trying to get to the stadium.
Packers money line. Just piss them off.
Really? Plus money.
Just piss them off on the way to the stadium. That's all. It's all it's going to be.
By the way,
mad.
Matt, I do a segment on my show called Breakfast Bets, because I'm a morning guy.
Yeah.
Today's breakfast bet was the under in the Duke Northwestern game tonight. So I'm glad we're on the same page there. I saw 37.5 at Circa.
Is that that's an ugly game? Brommelkamp?
Terribly. Both teams are going to run the football, keep the clock rolling. I think Matt hit it out of the park, 17-10.
Are you going to get to that stadium at any point during this season?
I don't think so. Iowa doesn't play there this year, and the next couple years they'll move that to Wrigley Field or something where they can sell more tickets. Any team that actually sells tickets, they're not going to play in that temporary stadium.
Yeah, no, but it's Duke, so it's gonna be sad. Yeah, Chad the dad. Yes, your head's too big to put the cheese head on. Yes, that's
definitely
that's
not
true.
going to fit that big.
It's not going to fit. Sorry.
So speaking of ugly football, let's talk about the game that you guys want to have me on for, right?
Well, look I bet under 36 7 times in a row at Kinnick Stadium. This game has gone under. We've seen as a total as high as 50 in the last 6 years, and the game has still gone under because Iowa won the game 42-3 in that game and killed Iowa State. How is this not a rock fight under game? The first half, Todd, you saw it. Iowa's offense didn't look good in the first half.
They looked more of the same in the first half. It was 6-0 going into the locker room at halftime. They couldn't move the ball. And then in the second half, 34 points out of nowhere. If you had the under 41 and a half, you were sweating at the end. I don't know which team is going to show up on Saturday, but I will tell you this, and I've had a feeling all week long that this is an over game.
Yep.
I think this is an over game, and I think Iowa wins this by double digits.
Whoa.
Oh, wow. Okay. So if that all happens, like the expectations are, and Matt has called them 8-4 Ferentz, and, Iowa middle of the road has been acceptable. He's come on this show. Other people have come on this show and said that Iowa has a legitimate shot, Todd, to make the playoff. Like they can almost run the table. Are you in agreement with this?
Well, if you go by their schedule right now, the only team that they played that was in the top 25 in the preseason is Ohio State. Everybody else in the schedule right now is outside of the top 25. Now, I think Nebraska is going to be better by the time Black Friday rolls around. As a matter of fact, I think Nebraska is going to embarrass Colorado this weekend. Call me a Big Ten homer. I don't know what my deal is this week with some of these games. But by the time Black Friday rolls around, that should be a top 25 game. There's some other games. I think the UCLA game is a landmine because it's at the Rose Bowl. It's on a Friday night. But the way that the schedule sets up for them this year, it's amazing. You get rid of the East-West, and Iowa still has one of the more favorable schedules in the Big Ten this year. But I absolutely think that if they continue to win games, they lose to Ohio State, they're going to be in the top 25 all season long, and they're going to be knocking on the door of that 12-team playoff if everything breaks right, if they can stay healthy.
Now, that you saying this, Iowa double digits, that the Cyclone people are going to come for you. It's
actually, you know what? It's the kiss of death because I'm so cold with some of my predictions that they actually probably appreciate the fact that I said it was going to be a double-digit win.
Because
it's no knock on Iowa State. It's no knock on Iowa State. I think they're a good football team this year. I just have a feeling, and Dave, you used to love people coming up to the counter, right? Putting that money down, saying, "Hey, I got a feeling."
Yeah,
exactly.
Careful.
Right.
Careful on the feeling bet. But what do you make of the way that both Iowa and Iowa State play the game? Because the only way I see a double-digit win for the Hawkeyes is if Iowa State turns the football over multiple times. They're going to look to run the football. Iowa wants to run the football. I think if you guys are back there asking McNamara to chuck the rock 30 times against Iowa State secondary, that's going to lead to Iowa turnovers. How do we get to an over, and how do we get to double digits for Iowa to win this game?
See, there have been a lot of rumblings this week that Iowa State's actually going to try to throw the ball tomorrow, especially early, first and second down. They've got a new offensive coordinator. He's got a great quote about not being able to out-scheme Phil Parker. I think they're going to be a little bit more aggressive. They're going to trust Rocco Becht to go to the air tomorrow. And I'm not counting on Iowa State to move the ball, but I've got this one 24-14. So it's not exactly a high-scoring game, but when the total's 35, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm no math major, but that puts the game over. I liked what I saw from Iowa offensively last week in the second half. Iowa State, for whatever reason, seemed it was almost like they were sleepwalking through that game last week against North Dakota. They lost Caleb Bacon, linebacker, big part of their defense. I think this sets up for an Iowa win tomorrow.
let's stick in the Big Ten because you said you were a Big Ten homer. Can you explain the Texas line? Yeah, can you explain the Texas line at Michigan? I mean, you've been to the games at the Big House, and like, it's not an easy place to play, but it's not an overwhelming. I mean, let's be honest, it's not an overwhelming home stadium like some of the stadiums that Matt talks about in the SEC, and definitely not Penn State. But what is your feeling, your gut? Did you have any dreams or anything about that game?
Yeah, I'm the idiot walking up to the window, putting $20 down on the counter saying, give me Michigan and the 7 points this week. I think Texas wins the game, but something tells me that Michigan can keep that game close. I'm not drinking the Texas Kool-Aid this year, and it is a tough place to play. I'm actually not terribly impressed with the Big House. I've been there, and it's huge, but it's not as impressive as some of the other stadiums that I've been to. I'm not going to start the Michigan-Ohio State thing, but I think Ohio Stadium's way more intimidating than going into the Big House.
I agree.
But
I didn't say that. Todd said that, not me.
Yeah, at Todd Brommelkamp on Twitter. I've got bad takes all day today. People have been coming at me right and left. I'm going out throwing bombs out there about the Iowa State series and Northwest or Colorado and Nebraska. And I don't know. Maybe it was because I know I was going to be on with you guys today, and Peralt's rubbing off on me.
There you go.
Got the hot takes coming right and left.
There we go. Make everybody all upset. I'm on the other side. I think Texas is going to dog walk Michigan. So
they very well could.
Yeah, I don't think Michigan is going to be able to put up much of a resistance.
That Michigan team is going to lose 3 or 4 games this year. The amount of talent that they lost last year, and say what you will about Harbaugh, because he is a certified grade A weirdo, but the guy can coach.
Yes.
And I don't know whether Sharon Moore is in the same category or not. They're going to lose some games that they probably shouldn't this year. Dog walked? I don't know about that, but I think they can keep it close.
Team. This is the best Texas team since probably when I was covering the Big 12. Like this is in the last decade, this is the best Texas team. The talent, the quarterback play. I mean, they've got it all, and I don't think Michigan's going to be able to keep up. I just think Michigan's defense could probably keep them to 28, 30 points. Michigan's not going to score that on Texas. And so I would agree
with you on that. If it goes that way, then you're absolutely right. You got the great read on it.
Yeah, I think Texas by 7.5 was the number they bought it back down, but it's sort of like, okay. I mean, is it weird to say Oregon football and Oregon Boise State and say Oregon's a Big Ten team and ask you about Oregon? Because it still feels weird for me to ask that question.
Absolutely very weird to talk about any of those teams. Even looking at the USC LSU game last weekend, to consider that a Big Ten game was very weird. But Oregon, Boise State, I'm all here for it. Bring it on. Who you tell me who's winning that one, because I haven't taken a close look at it.
Yeah.
I think Oregon wins that game, but Boise's defense is a problem. I mean, Georgia
Southern
put up
18 and it went to 20, and Oregon's going to score. I think they put up like
whatever they want.
50, at least.
Yeah, whatever they
50.
want.
Like they run them out. This is that game that Oregon gets well at home. It's September, and it is football season. But I know you're a baseball guy, and Matt refuses to talk about baseball anymore because it's
on
done.
Fridays.
So that's fine. But I'm going to ask you because my team's done. Your team won't die. They are lurking and hanging around. Those Cubs are at the bottom of the wild card standings. And, you know, they had a couple losses this week against the Pirates, by the way, but then they blew them out in the last game.
Well, no. They didn't just blow them out in the last game. What happened, Dave?
They
no-hitter.
them. It was a combined no-hitter.
Thank you.
All right. It's fine.
Still a no-hitter.
It counts as a no-hitter, though, right? Like
yes.
It's a no-hitter.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no hits. Cubs, are you still hanging on to hope? Like, are you going, they might make the playoffs? Or are you done? It's football season. You got the bat and glove away. It's over.
They're on in the other room right now. And the minute that I'm done with you guys, I'm going in there, watch it. But it's football season, guys. But yeah, I'm with Matt. It's football season.
Yeah,
talk to me when the playoffs roll around. When the playoffs roll around, talk to me. Until then, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I need to ask because people here don't talk food and football like I talk food and football. So we can go to your neck of the woods and talk food and football. Give me the Iowa State. Like, what's the meal look like for you? What's the thing everyone go to? Do you have to do the pulled pork? Are you doing the ribs? What's the meal for Cy-Hawk that everyone's going to be chowing down that you like to partake in when it comes to this big rivalry?
Well, you do the pork for Minnesota because that's Floyd of Rosedale.
Okay.
That's when you break out the pork. People are going to have everything on the grill tomorrow: burgers, brats, hot dogs. It's a 2:30 kickoff, so they're going to be up and at it fairly early tomorrow morning. For the Cy-Hawk game, people prefer to drink their nutrients as opposed to eating them. So I think that's probably the bigger question is what everybody's drinking tomorrow.
Bigger insult, Tavern Hawk or a Cy-Clown?
Tavern Hawk. But accurate. I mean, there are a lot of people. For Dave and the non-Iowa people don't know this. The big knock on Iowa fans, Iowa State fans like to say most of Iowa's fans didn't go to school at Iowa, that they're Tavern Hawks. They sit in the bar and they talk about the Hawkeyes, where Iowa State fans go to school at Iowa State. They're more loyal. They're more real fans. I don't buy into any of it, but I would say Tavern Hawk, much bigger put down than Cyclone.
So the boy, is he an Iowa fan or is he an Iowa State?
He's an Iowa City.
No.
Yeah, come on.
We don't root for red teams in this house.
Oh,
there we go.
Oh, okay.
Cardinals.
Yep.
Nope.
Out.
Cyclones. People are going to come at me now for seeing this, but my wife and I both went to Iowa. He's a Hawkeye through and through. We don't root for red teams. And it's
fair. You're doing radio for Iowa fans, not Iowa State fans, so it's fair. I mean, that's be like me.
I try to give Iowa State their credit, and since Matt Campbell has arrived, Iowa and Iowa State are very close in DNA, very similar programs. I think Matt Campbell is sort of the Kirk Ferentz of Iowa State. He's comfortable there. He's going to win more than he loses. It's not a bad place. Matt, you know this. You can live like a king in Iowa on a couple $1 million a year. So if I'm Matt Campbell, I'm in no hurry to leave the state of Iowa. Just 8-4 Campbell, right? Yeah. You call Kirk Ferentz 8-4 Ferentz. Be 8-4 Campbell. They'll build a statue of you outside Jack Trice Stadium.
Well, this year I'm on over 7.5 wins. So 8-4 Campbell is. Yep, let's go with that. I'm actually on 9-3 Ferentz this year. I need over 8.5 wins for Iowa. What do you make of Iowa? Because I think 10-2 is still possible. Even if they miss the playoffs, I think a 10-win season is very likely if McNamara stays healthy.
It's a 10-2, 9-3 type of schedule. Again, Ohio State is the only one that really leaps out as a loss. The game that I got circled, I mentioned it already, is the UCLA game, just because it's a Friday night. They've got to go west to the Rose Bowl. Iowa traditionally hasn't played well west of the Rocky Mountains. Kirk Ferentz isn't a huge fan of going west. The other game that I've got circled is the Nebraska game. Again, I think Nebraska is going to be pretty solid. That game is here this year in eastern Iowa, so Iowa's got the benefit of the home field advantage there. There's a couple other games that I think could trip them up, but the schedule is very favorable right now. Over 8.5 wins. If you got it at 7.5 before it moved up, I think even better. McNamara looked really good in the second half. They've got a true freshman wide receiver, Reese Vanderzee, who came out of nowhere last week that had 2 touchdowns. They're running the football. The key is the offensive line looks like it's better this year than it has been the last 2 years. And when Iowa's offensive lines are good, Iowa's good. So, Matt, if I'm sitting on that 8.5 ticket, I'm feeling pretty good about it.
All right. Last one for me, sir. I'm going to show off your repertoire here a little bit. Caitlin Clark in the Indiana Fever has made the playoffs. You got to see Caitlin Clark live in full color in Iowa, college career. Is that place still paying attention to her and the Fever at all, or is it kind of moved on? She's now in the pros and it's not really that big a deal. Are you into still, women's basketball like you were when you were there or when she was there?
Dave, you have no idea. You have no idea how big the Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark are in the state of Iowa. I was at a store the other day. they have more Indiana Fever merchandise out right now than NHL stuff.
Wow.
Now, granted, it's not quite hockey season, but they've got T-shirts, sweatshirts, stuff. You can get a little stuffed doll wearing a number 22 jersey.
Wow.
Caitlin Clark Fever, and it's not just here in Eastern Iowa. She's from the Des Moines area. You go to the central part of the state, they are following along. I had a guy that sent a text into the show last week that had to put an extra TV in the garage so that they could watch. You're laughing now. Please respect the culture of the Midwest. We have TV man caves. Our man caves are in the garage. That's how we operate.
That's right.
Because the wives throw you out there.
He had to put an extra TV into the garage so that they could watch the Friday night football games last week and the Indiana Fever game.
Wow.
It's huge. People are still paying attention to it. She's doing fantastic things. She's, the greatest rookie that league has ever seen. They're in the playoffs for the first time since 2016. It's a great story because the team is, and it's not just her. They've got Aaliyah Boston and Samuelson, and it's a good team. They're starting to come together. But absolutely, I guarantee you go to Kinnick Stadium tomorrow. There are going to be people there with Caitlin Clark stuff on instead of Hawkeye football stuff.
Tonight, you're a Packer fan. Tonight, you got Packers and the Eagles up against the Lynx.
Look at that.
Do you see this? This is the Don Makowski, the Magic Man.
That's amazing.
Look at that.
That's awesome. Brommelkamp, you guys have got a huge basketball game tonight. The Lynx are maybe the best team in the WNBA.
I'm not suiting up for. Don't tell me I've got a big basketball game tonight.
These are bad. He ain't doing it.
What is on most people's TVs tonight? Packers, Eagles, or Caitlin Clark and the Fever against the Lynx?
Well, the Packers Eagles is on Peacock. So depending on how easy the basketball game is to watch, it may be the basketball game.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine? Wow. That's something else.
I can tell you what's not going to be on: Western Illinois and Indiana, which is at 6 o'clock on the Big Ten Network. Indiana minus 42 at home, and then that terrible Duke Northwestern game tonight at 8 o'clock, which I think is on FS1. Does that sound about right?
Sounds right. ESPN2's got the other game. Yep. So makes sense. My goodness gracious. That's amazing. If Caitlin Clark gets more eyes on her tonight than the Packers do in Iowa.
Well, Matt, you were here. Iowa, it's really weird because there's no dominant sports NFL franchise. There's Bears fans, Packers fans, Vikings fans, Chiefs fans, some Broncos fans. So it's not like the Cubs, which are kind of the dominant baseball team, especially
where you are, though, Todd. I mean, it's Bears country. I mean, there's tons of Bears fans where you are. Packer fans too.
I would say that there's more Bears fans, but it's not as predominant as any of the other sports.
Because
NFL's
the Chiefs.
Everybody's got a team.
The Chiefs claim the whole state of Iowa as part of the kingdom. Like they claim Iowa as part of it. It's like, no, it's not. Like I used to laugh all the time when I'm talking to Mitch Holtis. Mitch loves we love Iowa. I'm like
the voice of the Chiefs. Absolutely. Caitlin Clark, by the way, huge Chiefs fan.
She is.
She is a Chiefs fan.
Everybody's
a Chiefs fan.
My whole house is Chiefs fans.
Run with the masses.
I was a Chiefs fan last night when he came down with that toe over the line. I had 47.
Holka, the big toe, out of bounds.
Out of bounds. Brommelkamp, where can people find your stuff? What are you doing for game day tomorrow for Cyhawk?
I will be at Kinnick Stadium. You can follow along with me on X at Todd Brommelkamp. You can check out 1600 ESPN at kgymradio.com, and Monday morning, 6:30 to 9 a.m. We'll look back on Iowa State. And we got a big game coming up next week. The Troy Trojans are coming too. I can't imagine you guys want me to come on and talk about Troy, so I'll mention him. I'll mention him while I'm on with you now.
But you can send us one of those nice ESPN 1600 parkas, and maybe
we'll wear that.
I'll do that. I'll get Consig well, you guys had the Omaha Steaks package, so I don't need to send you any meat, or anything. But
no,
I'll come up with a nice care package.
Yeah,
and send it your way. You guys have you talked to Callahan yet, or is he coming on after me?
Callahan's on next, right behind.
Callahan's on next. Okay, I will be a viewer for Callahan because I want to know whether he thinks Nebraska is going to embarrass Colorado. Because I think Nebraska wins that game easily.
I agree. All right. Over 40-20, Nebraska. Todd, thank you for coming on, bud. We appreciate it. Great to see you. We'll talk to you soon. All right.
Got it.
Go Packers. It's Todd Brommelkamp joining us here on the Bostonian versus the Book. That's tremendous. That's tremendous.
Cheese.
It's a great piece of cheese.
Never had one of those.
Never?
Never. No. I've been at games where someone's wearing them.
Oh yeah.
I might have to add one of those. She'll kill me. What is that big piece of cheese? You don't need that.
You walk around with that. I mean, did you see our friend Dave today? The jacket, the Packers jacket he on today?
Yeah, I did.
Oh my gosh. That thing was like, what was that?
He said it's time for a lot of love. He kept saying it. He's like, look at me. It's time for a lot of love. And I'm like, you're wearing that outside?
Okay.
You left the house like that and said, this looks good? Do you not have mirrors in the house? I was teasing him pretty good.
That's great. Yeah. I think Texas kills Michigan. I don't think Michigan has. I think when you lose a coach like Harbaugh and you lose the talent drain that they had in the offseason and all the impropriety, all the questions, all the distractions, it's been a really rough couple of months for Michigan. And I think this is the wrong team to face at the wrong time.
But are you comfortable laying 7?
Sure. Yeah, I am.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's one score. It's one touchdown. I don't think Michigan scores enough. I don't. I mean, you've got a quarterback that is he's old, but he's unproven against JJ McCarthy and trying to fill JJ McCarthy's shoes. I don't know. The over, I don't mind the over. Yeah. But I think team total Texas is a better play personally.
Man, oh man. I don't know. It's late to the party. I mean, I think I'd only take 7, but it doesn't mean it's the right side. I don't know.
That's why I haven't bet it, because I hate the fact I want to bet it in game because I hate the fact that I could have gotten 3.5, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5, and 7. It's like, ugh. Okay, it was 7.5, and that was the resistance point.
Yeah,
came back down to 7. I mean, do you think Oregon crushes them? Feels that way, right? Total 62.
Yeah, that's a lot. We'll watch that one late night. That'll be. Let me see. Current numbers, what, 20? Let's hit refresh. Oh, okay. So went to 20, came back. So they got the bets they needed. Yeah, Oregon.
Yeah, I think Texas blows one game a year. Is this it? No.
What Chris Warren say? Oh, gonna beat that. You know what? That's good.
Yeah, they blow one. I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to happen. I disagree. Different type of team. Michigan is not Alabama. That's the thing. Bama had Nick Saban on the sidelines. There's no Harbaugh on the sidelines. This is just a different type. Programs take
Michigan. You're talking about. I'm looking down at the graphic. It says Oregon, Boise. I was like, what are you talking?
No, sorry. Yeah. So it's. I just think it's a step. This is going to be a step back year for Michigan. This is not a top 10 team. Michigan. I think this is when Texas really starts to announce that, hey guys, we're going to be a problem for everybody, including Georgia.
The boys, before we get Callahan in here, something to vote on. Give them this one. Texas -7. We did it yesterday. See how people feel today because it's College Football Friday, Roll Call Friday. Texas
wasn't it all Texas?
-7. You put +7 and +7 yesterday.
No, that was
everybody
Nebraska. That was Nebraska, Colorado. I did that too.
Oh,
we didn't do this game yesterday.
Okay, so do Texas -7.
Okay,
or
it's the same spread.
+7.
Yeah, that's why
people vote. I think this one will get close to 50%. The number's right now. It was light when it was 3.5, and it was
all the way up 4.5, 5.5, 6.5.
Yeah, I mean, well, they moved it by 2s, couple places. So I know that they were limit plays.
Oh, Iran, Sean, you're drinking the Kool-Aid, dude. I know you're up there, but whoa.
Oh, all right, Iran.
Whew. Outright.
I mean, if Michigan wins, look out. Like the Michigan train starts again.
What train? What
well,
train?
they're the national champion.
I know. They had a Heisman Trophy candidate quarterback last year. They had a running back that was unbelievable. I mean, I don't see it. I struggle mightily with the idea that Michigan, after losing what they lost last year and what Texas has coming back and everything that's in front of Texas, this is the game. You know, they've got all the big, Pat's there today. Pat's on the field doing a show live from the big house. Like all the eyeballs are on this game. This is the marquee game of the weekend. that Texas goes up there and just falls apart? I can't see it. I mean, Michigan did not look great last week. Texas, I just think they're deep. They're talented. I mean, Manning might wind up playing in this game again because it gets out of hand.
Daniel G's on the ground there in the 3-1-3. He said Texas by a lot.
Yeah, I'm with that. Texas by a lot.
Sonic said wrong overlay. What does that mean? I don't know.
That's the wrong overlay. Sonic
overlay. I don't know.
For the show.
Oh, I said Emerson Latzia.
Oh, sorry. Whoops.
Hi.
Wrong one. Thank you.
Hi, Emerson.
Sorry.
Hello, Emerson.
Sorry.
Thank you, boys and girls. Thanks. That was a nice $2 drop.
Here, Sonic, you've sent me too many overlays. That's my fault on that. All right. Oops, let's not get rid of that. Is it time to let's talk to Huskers, huh? Let's talk Huskers. Let's get into Nebraska and Colorado. As I said, we're pulling back this. This is something we're going to try because it might work. It might not. But Roll Call Friday is coming up momentarily, guys. So hang around for that. But we're bringing it back with what we're calling a Fight Song Friday. This is fun. Nebraska, Colorado. Let's go to Lincoln, Nebraska, and let's go talk to Sean Callahan. He's been a guy, I mean, I don't know who's covered the Huskers more than Sean Callahan over the years. You're joining us for the first time in the Bostonian versus the Book. Sean, good to talk to you again, my friend. How are you? Welcome to the show.
Hey, Matt, it's great to be on. Looking forward to a big one here on Saturday.
All right, so what's the overall feeling about the program here in year 2 under Matt Rule? He thinks 10-2. He likes his programs that are freshman quarterback. My Husker friends are going crazy. They think this team's going to the playoffs. Where are you on the Huskers this year in year 2 under Matt Rule?
Look, I think, this is a game that kind of swings the season. If they can beat Colorado, look good on NBC Saturday night, all of a sudden all boats rise for Nebraska. And then they have Northern Iowa, a Friday night game against Illinois. It really sets up for them for their first 7 games. Rutgers is probably the only team they'll play with a winning record in the first 7 games.
Wow.
So they have just the schedule from the football gods that they've been dreaming to have. This is the game, though. They got to get over the hump with Colorado. And then you've got I think Rutgers is good this year, guys. I think Rutgers will be an 8-9 win team. And they could win 10. I mean, their schedule might be the easiest of any Big Ten team. So that will be a tricky game. But, you got Iowa, you got Wisconsin. I think Wisconsin looks fairly manageable after week 1. Iowa's going to be good. USC is going to be good on that schedule. And obviously Ohio State. But UCLA, I think you'd say, is a great opportunity for a win for Nebraska. There's no reason why this can't be an 8-win type team if they get through this game on Saturday.
Sean, I'm Dave. I'm a Penn State grad. We'll get to that later. How big is this game just with the history that goes all the way back to like this being a Big 8 rivalry? Like Colorado coming to town. Matt's been talking about this being not just another game on the schedule. And is that the way it feels this week?
Yeah, it's a little personal for Nebraska fans. I mean, this rivalry, Nebraska controlled it up until 1985. From 68 to 85, Nebraska won 18 in a row against Colorado. But then Bill McCartney came in, and from 85, they beat Nebraska, and that was kind of the turning point for Colorado's program. They won 20-10 in 1985. From 87 to 96, this was a ranked on rank matchup. You go back to the 96 to 2000 era, all the games were decided by 5 points or less. It was Black Friday, national TV on ABC
every year.
So there is just a lot of great history, entertainment when these two teams have met. Well, the previous 3, because they Tom Osborne and the previous administration set up this series where they played a 4-game set with Colorado. 2018, Scott Frost's first year, they dropped a 3rd down or 4th down catch that would have iced the game. Colorado comes back, wins the game in Lincoln. That was Scott Frost's first game. 2019, Nebraska goes to Boulder. They're ranked. That's the last time Nebraska's been ranked. They occupied, and this is no exaggeration, and Matt can probably back me on this, 65% of Folsom Field was red. They just went in there like an invading army and planted their flag. And it was 17-0 Nebraska at half against Mel Tucker. They blew the game and lose, and Colorado fans stormed the field.
Yes.
They put
And that
their-
was it for
they put
Frost,
their
right? I mean,
fingers
that
to
was
the
it. That was like the stick the fork in Scott Frost.
Yeah, that was kind of honestly a turning point game. They're up 17-0, and they come out in the third quarter and get a delay a game penalty on the opening play of the third quarter.
Oh.
I mean, just kind of took their foot off the gas. Mel Tucker called a few good plays, and they pulled it off. And then last year, Deion Sanders' first home game, and Nebraska, it was a 13-7 game late in the third quarter. Jeff Sims decided to fumble 5 times. The game just didn't go well after that. But that game last year was a lot closer than the score indicated. Nebraska just gave the football away, and Colorado's too good on offense. That shouldn't be the case this year in Lincoln. It's just going to be a different feeling with the home environment. It's a 6:30 at night game. People have been dying for this game as much as any game I can remember in at least 10 or 15 years. And you've got Dylan Raiola. I mean, this kid has proven to be the real deal for Nebraska over, everything he's been here so far. And he's a 5-star guy, and he looked like that in week 1.
We'll get to his abilities and what he can do, his dad's name on the side of the stadium and everything else that goes into the Raiola family. But you know me as the antagonist. I love to poke Nebraska fans. So I've been teasing Husker fans for a long time about the balloon launch. And then somebody said, well, wait a minute, they stopped doing the balloon. The balloon launch is gone now. They're not doing it anymore. And then I get a text message from a friend of mine and says, by the way, the balloons are back. Why are the balloons back, Sean? Why is that? Because that was a big tradition that they killed. And now score a touchdown, launch the balloons. That's back. Why?
So Tom Osborne as AD and Bill Moose, they let it keep going. And there was a lot of pushback from, the environmentalists. And then there was a helium shortage as well.
What?
Yeah. And Trev Alberts finally caved in and they ended the balloon launch because of the quote helium shortage. Well, Troy Dannon has come in and said, we're doing it again for select games. So you probably won't see a balloon launch for Northern Iowa next week, but I'm guessing for sellout 400 the following week against Illinois on Fox, you'll see balloon launches again. So my guess is they're going to do it for maybe 3 or 4 of the 7 home games a year. And this will be the first one. And I think Troy Dannon said they'll have 6,000 balloons and they hand them out for free. They're not trying to make money on the balloons.
Is the game Saturday going to be high scoring? I mean, we're kind of talking about it. And when you look at it, let me see what the exact total is.
It's 56 now. It's down.
It is.
I took 59 and bet over. I think this is an old-fashioned Big 12, Big 8 scoring fest game.
Yeah, because like initially the numbers come down, the limit plays on under, but it feels like to us an over game. How do you see it kind of playing out Saturday night?
Well, last year, remember, it was 13-7 late in the third quarter, and then the turnovers made it the final score what it was. Matt Rule and Marcus Satterfield, the offensive coordinator, they would like to make it a body blow game where they just pound the running backs. And Dante Dowdell, an Oregon transfer, Ramir Johnson, they've got 4 quality running backs at Nebraska. So I do think they'll try to slow it down a little bit. But Nebraska was very efficient. Last week, they were 11 of 17 on their third down. So they were very good at holding on to the ball. They had a time of possession of nearly 38 minutes last week against UTEP, and they hardly even tried to really run much in that game.
How do they handle this offense for Colorado, in particular Travis Hunter, who had 3 touchdown catches last week, who looked unguardable, had an amazing catch in the end zone that won the game against North Dakota State for Colorado? How will the Huskers approach this? Will they double team him? Will it be anybody else except Hunter that beats him? What's the defensive game plan against the offense for Colorado?
Well, really, there's 3 receivers for Colorado that are all really good, with Hunter being the best. But Jimmy Horn, could be a number 1 for a lot of teams too. Those 3 receivers had 17 targets last week. The average depth of the target was 15 yards. So they're not going to waste those guys on a lot of underneath short bubble screen stuff. It's down the field. Shador gets to show off that arm of his. So you cannot have those assignment bust, coverage bust. Now, last week against UTEP, Nebraska did not blitz one time, according to Pro Football Focus. They ran a simple 3 or 4-man rush the entire game. They ran a simple drop, cover 2, cover 4 defense the whole game. They will come out on Saturday with something completely different they have not shown. And that's going to probably get Shador Sanders a little off balance early in this game. And that's where Nebraska's got to capitalize on that, because they'll have to adjust to whatever Tony White brings, because whatever they come out with, they have probably never shown on film. And that was the advantage of having an opener like UTEP, where a year ago, Nebraska opened with Minnesota on the road, and they had they had to play everything in that game. Last week, Nebraska didn't show much. And guys, this is a veteran defense. Pretty much everybody is back from this defense a year ago. So it's the strength of this team for Nebraska. When you look at the overall team, is this defense.
From a distance, a lot of times the uniforms for Nebraska, like people get upset with Matt, what do you call it? The black thing, like when they wear
black
the
shirts?
Yeah.
Black shirts. Yeah.
Sean, how do you feel about those? I mean, you've been there a long time. Like, are you a fan of that? There are people the fans of that, and the players obviously are. You know, the kids like to always wear that. But is that a big deal there?
Oh, huge deal. It's a tradition. It's an honor. So back in the 1960s, they wanted to have a way to identify who the starting defense was in practice. And they sent one of the coaches to a sporting goods store to find jerseys, and there was a discount on black jerseys. And so he brought these black shirts into practice, and they started identifying the starting defense with the black jerseys. Charlie McBride, the legendary D coordinator of the 80s and the 90s, he's the one that really kind of marketed it with the skull and the crossbones and made it what it's become. And Matt Rule has done his best to honor that tradition to what it is. There's only 12 players that get the black jerseys on practice. So there's 11 starters, and then there's another defensive lineman who pretty much is a starter, and they've given him one too. So it's a huge honor. They don't award those until the Monday of game week. So last Monday, the players come to their locker, and those black jerseys are hanging in there. And it's an honor when you get those jerseys. And it goes all the way back to the 1960s.
All right, so Dylan Raiola is a 5-star quarterback. Now, Nebraska's been in contention to getting 5-star quarterbacks at times, but it's hard to get them to come to Lincoln. When your dad's name is on the side of the building, it's easier to recruit. But we've talked about this transfer portal thing a lot, and we've talked about how many new quarterbacks, the transfer portal, how often these guys are moving. 30 of the 43 quarterbacks that are starting that have transferred in to these programs are first-year starters. Raiola is a true freshman. How do these kids stay? How do you keep a kid like this? If Nebraska's got great success, how do you keep a Dylan Raiola in Lincoln?
Well, you obviously have to. NIL, it's as much about player retention as it is about acquisition. So retaining your roster is where your NIL comes into play. Look at Purdue. They lost their best edge rusher to Texas A&M because they couldn't afford to keep him. And he's a first-round pick. That's where NIL has its value. If you can retain your good players like Nick Scourton, who left Purdue to go to A&M. I mean, that's a huge blow. Nebraska cannot be in that position anymore. They have to, hang in there. And with Dylan Raiola, they had to have the NIL in place to get him. You don't get a hometown discount on Dylan Raiola. His three main choices were USC, Georgia, and Ohio State. Those three coaches wanted him as their number one quarterback in the recruiting rankings last year. He picks Nebraska. It all came into play. Carson Beck chose to return to Georgia. Dylan Raiola didn't want to sit. He wanted to play as a freshman. The opportunity came its way. And guys, they were so close to landing Kyle McCord, who's at Syracuse now. Wow. Kyle McCord was on campus for an official visit with his family. After the visit was kind of wrapping up the first night, everybody thought he was coming. And then the next morning, Raiola decommits from Georgia and announces he's visiting Lincoln that weekend. So it was maybe at 24 hours from Kyle McCord being their quarterback. They also made a run at Cam Ward. Blake Shapen, who ended up at Mississippi State, was a guy they talked to. Sam Levitt, who's at Arizona State. So they had 4 portal names identified that they met with, and one of them took an official. But Raiola, it all just kind of came into play where he came here. And then the NIL part is a huge piece. And Nebraska's collective is backed by the Pede family, and they run $1 billion portfolio of businesses. And, they operate and pay for all the operational costs of the collective here. And then they have people like Matt Davison and Joe Seelig, who are really well-known fundraisers who used to work for the university, raise money for the collective. So they have an extravagant collective here. They just got to win games, and it's really going to take off.
Nebraska -7, Texas -7. Which one or both favorite would surprise you losing more? Because Texas is at Michigan, Nebraska's at home against Colorado. I can't see Nebraska losing. I can't at all.
I think Nebraska has a significant advantage of the line of scrimmage in this game. I think they have a significant advantage in being able to run the football. And the quarterback gap is not as bad. I mean, you could almost argue it's close to equal. I mean, a year ago it was a huge favor. So, and the crowd noise, I think the advantage, Colorado has not played in a stadium like this. I know they played at Oregon last year, but this will be electric. So I think at home, you're going to see 3 or 4 crowd-related penalties probably caused by Nebraska's fan base in this game for the noise. I expect Texas to win that game in the Big House, but guys, Michigan's defense is good. I mean, they have a very good defense. It will be interesting to see how they match up, but yeah, their offense week 1 against Fresno left desire. It just, Jim Harbaugh, I use the analogy here, being replaced by Sharon Moore. It's kind of like Frank Solich replacing Tom Osborne. Good coach, but not Tom Osborne.
Guy. Yeah, not the guy.
And Sharon Moore, probably good coach, but not Jim Harbaugh. And I think it showed week 1. Michigan's a good team, but Harbaugh's the reason why they win those 2 or 3 extra games every year.
Sean, we talked some Iowa State in the last segment. We were talking to Todd Brommelkamp, who's on the ground there in Iowa City. And I've talked to Dave about the fact that I think Iowa can win 10 games. And if Iowa wins 10 games, I think they could be in the conversation potentially for an at-large bid to get into the 12-team playoff. Talked about Nebraska's schedule. If they win this game going away, like if they win it like 40-20 and they annihilate Colorado and they announce their presence, is there talk? Do you think it's legitimate that Nebraska could put together a run here throughout the year and be in conversation for a playoff?
I mean, you have to be 10-2. I don't think Nebraska would be. I think there's certain teams that could be a 9-3 playoff team. I don't think Nebraska would be this year with their schedule. But if they could somehow get to 10-2, yeah, I mean, I think any Big Ten or SEC team at 10-2 is probably in the playoffs. I mean, that's just the reality of this model where 8, maybe 9 of the playoff spots could go to those 2 leagues. But probably for sure 8 every year of the 12 are going to go to those teams, in those conferences. So, and then when they expand this thing even more, it's just going to make it even harder for other leagues because these 2 leagues have the players, they have the money. But yeah, I think Nebraska, that's why in the Big Ten, you're in a good position. If you can get a 9-3 or 10-2, that's a playoff season. And Bo Pelini had a lot of those not that long ago.
Last one for me, sir. We got the same hairline. Yours is looking good too. Keep it close. I like it. If you want a hat, we do these BVB hats. We'll get you a hat.
We just made the Husker hat. We just made
the Husker hat. We just met a bunch of people that are going to be at the game this weekend wearing the BVB hats in the all white with red. But I need some dirt on Peralt because we're supposed to come back we're going to do a reunion tour. Now that we're doing the show, we're going to Iowa. We're coming to Nebraska. And like, Sean, people are telling me like there'd be people waiting with pitchforks for this guy in some of these cities that we're going to. Can we come back there and do a show without getting hurt?
Matt walked in to, Nebraska really only had one major sports talk station at the time. And, he walked in and became the second one. And he was going head to head against Kevin Kugler, who's now announcing games on Fox. So he had a tough job. And how many years were you on there, Matt? Almost
5 years. 5 years. 5. Yeah. So in 5 years, I wore the blue for you, Sean. So I was able to do what other people did not want to do, which is basically I pit Creighton fans against Nebraska fans and watch them fight.
Yeah, and now Creighton's at a whole nother level with where their athletics are in the Big East. And hey, Omaha's adding Philadelphia flights, by the way, so you can get up here to Omaha, direct flights to Omaha.
Wow. Look at that. That's tremendous.
We're in Vegas. So,
yes.
I mean, we're coming from Vegas.
We can get you easy.
We live in
Allegiant
Vegas. I'm wearing Eagle stuff today because it's part of the shtick.
Yeah, part of the stick of the show. Sean, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you coming on. Enjoy the game. Should be a lot of fun. I like Nebraska big. I think you guys are going to have a fun time on Saturday night.
Hey, enjoy the games this weekend, guys. I'm a big Chiefs fan, so it was fun last night to see the Chiefs get out 1-0 too. So let's keep the wins rolling this weekend.
A lot of red coming through with W's. Good stuff, Sean. I appreciate that.
Thank you, sir.
That's Sean Callahan from Huskers Online joining us here on the Bostonian versus the book. Good stuff with him talking. Hey, why do you always ask about dirt? You always want to know the things with people coming at me.
No, because I have to know when we land, if we go to do shows,
Well,
who's
Creighton
coming to
people-
look for you?
Well, Creighton people are going to be there, and if you got Creighton people, I mean, you know, we can get Coach Mac's family to pick us up at the airport, but Husker fans aren't doing that.
No, that's fine. But like when we're out at the show, people are going to come. Like, is that
Oh yeah,
a roll? Like,
oh yeah. Oh,
you know,
if we're there, you will.
we're gonna have to get Mikey Awesome to come and be
Yeah,
security.
you would-
We're gonna have to get
Yeah, yeah,
Stevie
yeah.
Mack to come and
Yeah.
be security. Brommelkamp's kind of a big
Yeah.
guy. Well,
Yeah.
Brommelkamp on the show, ready to jump at a moment's notice to, you know, protect us a little bit. That's what we need. We need the
Yeah.
security force. JC from KC. I'm not kidding. We need it.
It's not really all that crazy. Back to the games. Tennessee in Charlotte, laying 9 to North Carolina State. You gonna go ahead and put that down?
Yeah.
9?
Yeah. I think it's
Route
good
coming.
I think it's good up to 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
First half, Tennessee.
First half.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was that stat? Did we go over that stat with
Yep.
Tennessee? Yeah. Earlier
Yeah.
in the week. Go back and watch the show. I mean, they
Basically
destroyed people in the second
68,
half.
69% of the time
70%. Yeah.
Yeah,
They win the
right
first
there.
half
for
under him.
Josh Heupel as a head coach,
Yeah.
first half against the spread, including last week where he dropped 40 some odd, 42, 49 points.
Man,
and
I got
covered the
some
first half
number
spread.
in Arizona just keeps calling me. I'm gonna.
Okay.
I hate them random calls right now.
Just block it. It's fine. Just
Did.
go ahead and block it. Okay, guys, we're going to talk Eagles and Packers, and then it's time for Roll Call Friday. So get ready. We got to get it in. We got to roll.
We got to get it in. Pause.
Got to get it on. Pause.
Let's get it on.
Uh,
Gotta get it in.
Packers,
Mm.
Eagles,
Yeah,
all the way around though, to get it on, then get it in. But Packers, Eagles, -2 for the Eagles. Total is 49.
I have no idea.
Really?
I really have no idea.
Okay.
This is one of those games where I hate the neutral site games. I wouldn't use this game in a contest
Mhm.
at all. Like there's nothing that would go, I feel strongly about side or total. I mean, looking at it, I want to say under, but when these guys are going to be sitting in traffic for 2 hours before they get there, that's like a high school game.
No, that's fine. It's
That's
over
not
exaggeration.
fine. They
is.
use
It's
they're
fine.
15 minutes away most times.
It's fine. No, it's fine. You have
What's the
two-
longest you ever sat on a bus going to a high school game when you were playing sports? Longest road trip you took? Do you remember?
Yep. Out to Western Massachusetts. So 2.5 hours.
For one game?
Was it one game or two? Might have been two. Yeah, it was one game. No, it was one game. Yeah. It was one game. 2.5 hours out.
2.5 hour?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a
out west.
long- Did you guys win?
I don't
Couldn't have
remember.
won. There's
I don't
no way.
remember.
You don't ride
Mhm.
for 2.5 hours and win. Played soccer. You
Yep.
sat on a bus 2.5 hours and
Yep.
then get out, stretch, play soccer,
Yeah.
and go
And
home.
get on the bus and go back. It was a non-conference game, like it was like a scheduled friendly type of thing to play. That we did that.
Yeah. That is terrible.
He would know. Pedro, you would know.
Oh, traffic. in
Traffic
Sao
is
Paulo
horrible.
horrible. Oh boy. Yeah,
Okay.
I
We'll
want
see
that.
on this.
Do you like something in this game?
Oh yeah, lots of things in this game.
You do?
Yep.
Oh, did you do the prop stuff all over?
Packers,
Crazy.
props, teaser, all of it.
It's so funny because people watch the show and like, you know, you were on Baltimore yesterday and the money line and all this other stuff. And
Mhm.
they text me like late after the game. I'm like, I know what he had. I watched the show.
I was
Like-
what, are you actually calling me wrong because I was wrong by a toe?
They
Like,
can't wait to tell me when you're had the
I mean,
other side. I'm like,
But
I-
did they play the teaser
for
because it
watching
wiped
the
out? Because the
show.
teaser wiped it out, so it doesn't matter. Teaser
yeah,
hit.
the perfect.
Teaser
Man,
wipes it out, so it's
every teaser won.
yeah. So
The all way
good.
teaser won, which like Butchie, you know, that one leaves a mark. It's not body parts. Deuces, Butchie. I see you.
Mm.
But yeah, the teaser was good. Was never in doubt. Teaser was really never in doubt.
not the under for that matter. Yeah, under 53. That was good. I mean, the
Believe
plus
that total
9.
fell 47. Talk about hitting it right on the money in the first game of the season. 27-20.
Guys don't know what they're doing.
Oh man.
They know what they're doing. So I think it's fun. But all right, it's roll call Friday time.
Right now?
Right now, roll call Friday time. Are you have anything planned?
I have nothing planned.
Which is
as of
it was a
right now,
massacre.
Massacre. Yeah, that's what I knew it. I knew it when I saw it, and I was like, oh. I've been in the book when that happens, like you're rooting for them to call that a touchdown.
Oh, to get the over.
You need one side to not cover, right? Like in the teaser and all. Like you can't. So at least the total would have helped if they scored there and it finished. But start putting in your roll calls, guys. 3-digit area code, city, weather report, what you're doing this weekend, wherever you're watching it. You know, we got so much going on. I can't believe we didn't even get to the baseball.
There's no baseball in the rundown. There's no baseball.
I know.
I really like that a lot. I really do. I like that a lot. That's my new favorite stinger because it's done by the brigade. I mean, what I love about that is that I didn't do anything with that. Right. I didn't touch that. All I did was put that into a format to be able to air on the show. Yeah, that was all Sonic. That's Gorov playing the trumpet, and that's Sonic putting it together.
1 star.
It's so good. It's done by you guys. That's you guys. The brigade did that. It's so cool.
Brigade made. You know,
I like that.
That's brigade made.
Hashtag right brigade made.
Hashtag
I like that.
Brigade made.
Wow. Yeah. We should use that in something.
Yes. Hashtag brigade made. We'll continue to use that. I mean, it's just
that's a good line. I like that line a lot.
From here right out there, just like this.
I like it.
This is what Roll Call Friday started as. It grows. We got. I just looked down. I saw a super chat. Holy crap! Are you going to put them up on the screen? Are we ready? So do we have the map? You have the map? Show the people the map real fast. Oh, look, there's JPC to 4th. Just drew a 10 right out. 313 Lions money line plus over 41.5 minus 120. Hashtag all grit. Have a great weekend, fellas. Hashtag go blue too. Not blue chew, which, by the way, if you want to sponsor the show, we'll do blue chew reads, anything like that. Mikey, awesome. A deuce guaranteed to be read. What a deal. I heart. Hashtag BVB Brigade.
Yes. You want me to put it up on the screen?
I think we can. Yeah, that works out great. Starting with football guy, 97, who again saw Lewis last weekend in Pittsburgh, two weekends ago. He's out in 717 Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Welcome, sir. Thank you for always being here, communicating on the Twitter and all that other stuff at Football Guy 97. There's Sonic the Wrench. Unbelievable job, sir, with the overlays and everything else. 602 Phoenix, Arizona, which we're headed down to Phoenix. At some point in 2024, Sonic will be live and in person for you guys to see on the Brigade if he wants to do the show. If he doesn't, he stays behind the scenes and does a lot of great work for us. Thank you, sir. There's CBW 315, Oswego, New York. 78 dry degrees. Go Syracuse +3. Money line. They're going to win. JC from KC. 216. Cleveland, Ohio, 73 degrees. And Chiefs 1-0. Did you see that picture of JC from KC? The kid's a mom.
Good shot.
Oh, man, he's doing good work. He put that camera perfect. Had that nice BVB hat on with the Chiefs jersey. You look good in red, kid. I like it.
Good stuff.
Blue Spader, 702 North Las Vegas in Aliante. My circa million picks are in. Thank you. BVB proxy service. Yeah. All right. Very good. Glad you sent those. He's a text guy. Thank you for being here, Blue Spader. Love it. Good to see you, sir.
Admin's got you.
Admin got you. WV Punch Truck 1, 304 in the WV. That's West Virginia. It's hot again, and I hate JIT. It's supposed to be it. Yeah, J. I'm just reading what it says. That's fine. Listen, you move a letter here or there, we fight for that inch. It's all about those inches and the letters. TP, are you with me? ? 206 Seattle. It's Washington, state of Washington. We went all the way there, out there. 85 and sunny. Can we do a BVB NFL watch along this year for a Monday night football, Sunday night football, or Thursday night football game? I don't think so right now. We have a lot of things going on. It might be difficult.
At some point, we will do it for like a big game, like a playoff type game or like something. But like everyone does it, and I feel like to do it right, we have to do it differently. Like we have to do it in some form or fashion. Because somebody literally said that to me a couple days ago. They're like, you sound like you're crazy when you watch games. I go, because I am crazy when I watch games.
Right.
And they go, and Dave will just make fun of you the whole time. It will be really funny. Just have Dave make fun of you. You're walking around, you're sweating a bet. Dave will say, what the is your problem?
Right.
It'll be great TV. And I'm like,
show. Yeah.
I said, that's what I said. I said, well, isn't that the show? I said,
the show.
that's like watching just, Barstool Sports has done really well with that. I get that. That's their thing. I need something unique for us to do it. Like I need us to do a different version of that rather than just what they do, because that's their thing. So we need our thing. I don't know what that is. I'd rather watch games with you guys. I'd rather do like a BVB live watch along party where we're all there together and then I put a camera on that. We put that on the net. We put that on the internet and people can watch you guys in the brigade go crazy versus watching me go crazy.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We'll work on it. It's
We'll
thank you for the suggestion. We will figure it out. It's a way for everybody to kind of watch it together from wherever they're at. So I understand that we are the conduit for a lot of people time-wise and everything, but we'll figure it out. There's Timmy Coolios. He's figured it out. 2000. That's Sydney, Australia. I love when Timmy comes in the chat.
Watch this.
Pause.
Sydney, Australia.
Yes.
To.
Is that Drake it?
Drake it.
Drake it?
Yeah.
978. Drake it, Massachusetts. Deuce
MVC,
Daily.
Missouri Valley. To.
Holy crap. There he is. Hello, Rico.
That's different sides of the world. We go from Sydney, Australia to Drake it, Massachusetts to Croatia.
Yeah, we started in Brazil with Pedro. I mean, it's crazy. So there's 385 Croatia. It's been a while. It's damn good to be back. I'm damn glad to see you, Vinco, in the chat. That's awesome. Hope you had a good summer, sir. Missed you while you were gone, but welcome back to Roll Call Friday. Vinco and Martin Savage in Croatia, 385. There's Ryan Andrew Fletcher. I don't know what he's looking at, but he's looking here every Friday. I love it. 703, Herndon, Virginia. Love you all. Pretty soon you'll have Sport Trade in Virginia.
Yeah.
To actually get in the app and make plays. In the meantime, check the tape, go back, watch the show. We'll watch Wednesday. There's a big announcement. Santana, 928. Yuma, Arizona, still a solid 109.
104 consecutive days in Phoenix, Arizona, over 100 degrees.
Yeah, that's hot. I mean, that is
100 plus days over 100. That's like, okay. Yeah. Give them a break.
I know Santana's still watching the baseball. Go Diamondbacks. Serpientes. Eron Sean, 703, Centerville, Virginia, 80 degrees. Football is back and go blue.
Oh, okay.
All right. Once we get them picks in this week, boys, we'll be able to breathe a little bit. I owe Eron Sean a hat. Kevin Roper, 601, Hattiesburg, Mississippi, 76 and cloudy.
Wow, it's it. Wow. 76 in September. That's great. Wow. Take
Joe TFP, 303, Denver, Colorado, 72 degrees and sunny. Nebraska by triple digits. Man, oh, man.
Yeah.
People want to see Nebraska win that game big.
Mm-hmm.
Put it on.
I'm on him.
There's Vinny Konowinski, as I call him, but he's really Konwinski, Fort Wayne Comets. That's in the 260, Fort Wayne, Indiana, 71 and breezy. Enjoy the weekend, Vinny. Butchie the bookie, just to beat the leg.
What does that mean?
What?
I don't mean.
What are you typing right now? I mean, did the teaser beat you up that bad? Did you even type it right? Raymaker 512 back in the 412 Pittsburgh, PA. Vegas was a blast. Happy birthday again.
Yeah,
Raymaker
50th, 50.
You want to talk about celebrating your 50th birthday. Raymaker Lou, I don't even know if the man slept, but, we signed him up. We didn't get you that Westgate thing. Apologize about that, but hopefully you didn't miss out. Your picks are already in. We got you, bro. Great seeing you. It was always fun. We'll see you in Pittsburgh at some point. Linus Cribbage, 705, Aurelia, Ontario, where it's 19 degrees Celsius, which comes to 66 degrees Fahrenheit. That's pretty nice. It ain't going to be 66 here for a while.
Nope.
A few weeks, hopefully. Yeah.
3, 4. That's 5 countries, by the way.
5 countries already. Beautiful. We're still rolling. This is great. Georgie Mason, 902, Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island, Canada, BVB hat, Philly tour next weekend. Can't wait. Can't wait to get you that hat in your hand. Take a picture, send it. There's Georgie Pavlik, 973 Hillside, New Jersey, waiting for the start of another disappointing New York Giants season. They're going to win
it's a
this
hell
week.
of that logo is tremendous.
That is the Garden State Brigade. Look at that. For you guys watch it on the YouTube or the Twitter, the guy created his own. We're going to make that into a hat. Corbin, if you're watching, you got to get with Georgie. We're going to see if we can get that on a PDF, whatever we got to do. Good job, Georgie.
That'd be fun to get that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, right. AOWN 319, Independence, Iowa. In heaven, there is no beer. Really? That's deep right there. He shook me up with that one. Chef Benny, 401 Rhode Island. Have a great weekend, Brigade. Shift.
Inside joke?
Better get them picks in.
Inside joke?
You guys, 5 of you better get together.
5 wieners?
5 wieners. Yep. They left off and a hat. It's 5 wieners. Francisco Ochoa, 951, Hemet, California. It's only 110 degrees.
Oh, my God.
In Hemet right now.
Oof.
Is it? There are fires out there or something?
Must be. Yeah.
I mean, there is so much crap and caca in the sky here. Can't even breathe. Addison, another wrench, 812, B-Town, Indiana. BVB hat pick from the Browns Cowboys on Sunday. I love it. Perfect. We'll see you Sunday. Browns winning that game. Biggie J, 27740, Big John, middle of nowhere, Ohio, long-time Brigade member. Been too long, but my cousin Josh is listening for the first time, and I personally vouch that he would be a great addition to this beautiful thing. Biggie J27, thank you for being here. Cousin Josh, always welcome. Recruit to the Brigade. Keep telling them. Keep bringing them. We love it. Chris Otto, 724 Hopewell Township, PA. Football is back, and hockey's on the horizon, baby. Let's go. There's Yorkie, another hockey guy. 702 Vegas hockey. I know, Yorkie. I'm stretching. I'm running. You got to tell Jess. You got to get me on that ice. She ain't going to let me do it.
She's never
going to have
you.
to fight her. And she can fight. Don't. I don't want no fights. Jim Montgomery. Hello, Monty. 215 Orland, Pennsylvania. Eagles in the over. Go Birds. Gio DeWatt. 949 Seal Beach. Go Eagles. I don't know, boys. I'm a little worried about Eagles. Nathan Phillips, 513 Cincinnati. Get Jamar a contract. What the are they waiting for?
He's going to play with that one Sunday. See how much he plays. He's going to play, supposedly. Yeah, he's going to play without a contract extension. He's going to play, supposedly. So, but we'll see how much he plays because he may not be too down to go out there and go over the middle. He may not be sacrificing his body all that much.
Yeah, bro. I don't know about that.
So, yeah.
Okay. There's Matty Gentry, 480 Mesa, Arizona, setting records 110 plus. But I got to call.
Is that your house?
I got to call.
That's your house, Matty. Oh my God.
She's staying cool down there. Look at this. There's our guy. We get him here every week. He's pretty much listening to the show every day, watching the show when he can. 907 Ketchikan, Alaska. Scott 1T Bartholomew. Thank you for being here, sir. Always picks me up when I see you here. There's Ian Lights Out, 718 Bushwick, Brooklyn, 78 and sunny. Love that avatar. Every time Ian Lights Out comes in here, I feel like it's lights out. There's John, 724 G-Berg, which is short for Greensburg, Pennsylvania. Cool and rain in a few hours. When's the next time it's going to rain here? It ain't raining in a long
Who
time.
knows?
It's raining forever in Vegas. Eric Comrade, 270 Madisonville, Kentucky. I'd love to get a blue and white hat. I'd rock it everywhere. Speaking of which, I didn't even plan. It's like the Mentalist. I got the blue and white hat right there.
There's your Penn State.
Something like that. We
Penn
can,
State
we
model.
can work it out.
Well, no, it's Kentucky blue is a little lighter.
I got to get, we got to match the blue. It'd be a little bit more difficult.
It's even a little lighter than this.
White,
it's a little bit lighter than that blue, but it's more
we'll see
baby.
what we can do with that, Eric. John Serrett, 2 R's, 2 T's, 304 Oak Hill, West Virginia. Missed it by 1 point. I said Kansas City 28, Baltimore 20. You did. You were very close, John. Thank you for being here, sir. As always, representing West Virginia. Corey Macbeth, 402 Omaha. If the Huskers lose to Colorado, I'll be taking a week off from sports talk. LOL. Listen, it's not the worst thing in the world. Some people eat cups of poop and other things when their teams lose.
Fair.
Take a week off. There's Todd Brommelkamp. Nice hat, nice appearance, great interview today. He looks good, man. He got the hair tightened up, a better haircut than Kelsey did. I don't know what Kelsey was doing yesterday, but he's in the 319 via the 563, which used to be the 319. There's Isaac Rice on vacation.
6 countries.
What? Look at Isaac on vacation, checking in from where? How do you say this?
Slovenia.
Odyssey? I know, but
It's
I don't know how to say the name.
Slovenia. I have no idea.
Ratici, Slovenia. Go Birds. P. Rolt shut himself out. How did he do that? He hit the wrong tab. What in the hell is happening right now? Will, stay with us.
It's my fault. Sorry.
It obviously is your fault. I'm talking. You disappeared. You made the screen black.
I
Holy crap.
swiped. Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to do that. If
New computer.
No,
swipe
that's
and
not.
that.
That's not
Okay,
why.
we're good.
That was just me just getting too excited.
Crap.
I was trying to go back and forth between the map, dabbing the map and dabbing
Right.
this, and I ended up closing everything out.
That's
so
fine.
I apologize.
Fine.
I
Who's
apologize.
after Isaac here?
Hold on, I'm trying to see where we are here because I got to reset everything as to where we are. Oh, there we are. Okay, Mikey, awesome.
Mikey, awesome. Another wrench. Again, you guys do an unbelievable job moderating the chat and helping with other stuff. Mikey, change his freaking license plate and put Brigade. 757 Brigadeville, Virginia. ODU home opener tomorrow. I Heart BVB Brigade. LFGO. Chris Covey, 843. Chucktown, South Carolina. Tomorrow, 702. Baby.
Oh, that's right. He's in town tomorrow.
Yeah,
Nice.
he's coming in. Sign up and, get your things in and then text us because we'll either meet you after or we'll figure out something. But we'll take care of the rest of the season. Just make sure you get them first ones in. _ the Adam is in the 303 Castle Rock, Colorado. He's got one of the best avatars. I mean, that is really cool. All 4 pieces of the Boston sports team puzzle. Andy Caston, 702 Vegas. We'll have a cheese hat for you soon, Dave. Go back. Andy will deliver because he's originally a Wisconsin guy. I know he's a Packer fan. Good luck to you and your team tonight. If you bet the Packers, even better, get it done. Christian Hastings, 317, Indy, Indiana, 76 and cloudy there. Tim Campbell, my man, 814 Happy Valley, TC. Love you, bro. He sent me a video of Mario Lemieux scoring a goal in the mid-'80s and asked me if it was me that they cut away from. Honest Larry, the Boston account, posted it, and I think it might have been me. They videoed me in 1986 at the game.
Oh, my.
Crazy. We were dying laughing. Rosie, 415, San Francisco, California, Niners country, PS, Duke money line tonight. Good luck on Monday night, Rosie. We'll have more on that on Monday on the show. It's a Rhythm Monday. We'll talk to Megan and all that other stuff. Call me Jared, 330 Youngstown. The Avatar is a monster from a card game called Magic. He brings the end of the world. You asked who it was, Dave, when I sent the super chat on Wednesday. Have a great weekend. Thank you. Call me Jared. Thank you for being here. Youngstown, Ohio. Hog, Wild, but without the I, 66, is in the 405 via the 719, Burlington, Colorado. Truck driver, headed home. Drive safe. Be careful. Enjoy the weekend. And thank you for being here and listening and watching the show. Marcella under 504. That's New Orleans. Hope to see you all down here for the Super Bowl. Yeah, apparently we're going. I haven't decided yet. We haven't decided yet, but apparently we're going. Marcelo, I got to get you them hats. We'll get back to that after this weekend. We got one priority this weekend is get everybody's picks in on time and accurate. J-Dow Bets 410 St. Michael's, Maryland. Busy but beautiful week with football back. SGP season. If you know, you know. Tommy Lorenzo, 951 Murrieta, California. It's 108 degrees in Murrieta. Holy crap.
That's hot.
Weekend Cover the Weekend podcast. Go follow Tommy at Sportsbook Tom. DM. I don't know if I've ever seen you here before, DM, but if you're new, welcome as a recruit. If you're old, welcome back. 919 Durham, North Carolina. Put that one on the map. We needed that one today. That was good. There's Dawn Farrow. 928 Yuma, Arizona, 107. Nothing beats Roll Call Friday. It's also co-ed softball tournament after work. Yes, sir. Let's cash some tickets this weekend, boys. Saludos a todos. Have a good weekend. You too, Don Farrow. If you play third base, wear a cup. Wear a cup.
Wow.
Balls are coming in hot.
All right, one more before we let go of Sports Grid and SiriusXM.
D Stout 19507, Pipestone, Minnesota, getting ready for the weekend. And the first loss for the Minnesota Vikings of many losses this season. I love you, D Stout. You know that.
A lot of folks
Go
like
Nebraska.
A lot of folks like the Vikings weekend. It was just crazy, which is like, wait, really? I don't know. That's a stay away game for me. You guys are watching on Sports Grid TV or listening on SiriusXM. Have a great weekend. We enjoy you guys. Thank you for being here. Monday, recapping all of it. If you're with us live, we continue with a roll call Friday. More names and places to be called out and bet it or book it on the other side. Time for bonus time. Okay, continuing.
The last one.
Yep, he's still on that. So
now we can really let it fly. So if you want to drop a super chat and have something really fun to say, there's Pedro Franco, our friend, 021 Rio de Janeiro, 73 degrees.
Six countries today.
Whoa. Yorkie Morris said, what? 702 Southwest Vegas Aces will get the three-peat before the Chiefs? Whoa! Hold on, Yorkie. I don't think the Aces are going to win it this year.
I don't either.
I don't think they're going to win it.
I don't either.
I'm not being a hater. I just don't think they're going to win it. Nothing personal. There's Josh. Now, this looks like Waz, but it's Wasay. I don't know. It looks like Waz, but it has two S's. 201 Fair Lawn, New Jersey. You look very serious in that picture, Josh. You look like a very serious guy, but thank you for being here. And Roll Call Friday. One Snap Bonvie, my man. 519 Windsor, Ontario. Sorry I had to step away. You never have to apologize. We just appreciate you being here. You're my man. I mean, and you're a good driver. Lewis remembers. I also remember. Fish Killer 73540, Roanoke, Virginia. 80 degrees. Happy Friday. Going to Hokie home opener. Need a hat. Boy, that's a hell of a picture there. That's a fun home environment. You ever go to Virginia Tech? See a game there?
Yes, once. Yes.
With the whole Enter Sandman thing?
Yes, once. Oh, Virginia Tech.
Ooh, that place looks like it's popping.
Yeah, the whole thing moves. The whole thing moves. It's wild.
Look, Jordan One-Star Gorov is in the 313 downtown Detroit, Michigan. That's right. He's doing the 2-game parlay at the Big House Saturday, Michigan, Texas, and then at is it still called the Silverdome? Pontiac
No.
Silverdome?
No. Ford Field, that's right. To see the Lions play the Rams, which big move came on the Lions today. Did you see that? Went up to 4.5, 5 in places. Something happened. Somebody announced out for the Rams. I don't know nothing about it. But have fun this weekend, Jordan One-Star Gorov. And thank you again for the intro to the Roll Call Friday. It's outstanding. Absolutely love it. It's really cool. Daniel G, go ahead. You're on, Sean. I don't know what that is.
Sean, thank you for the fin right there. Appreciate
that.
That's
nice
super chat. Appreciate you.
Go ahead, Daniel G. Go ahead and repost yours because when I closed that out and came back in, it erased yours. So I apologize for that.
What happened?
Nothing. It just didn't get to it. So I appreciate it.
Oh, okay. I didn't see it.
No, thank you. We're in bonus time, so you can say fuck the haters. We're all good there.
First time I didn't know how to do this, but F the haters to what you are doing. Yeah.
Look at you. You said it right.
Dave, you're the first person to ever say my last name correctly like that. Josh was saying, all right. I like it. Well,
you got it.
It's very confusing.
Very nice. And there is our Roll Call Friday for the first full weekend of football here for us for 2024. Good stuff. Thank you guys for being here. And thank you guys. If I missed anything, you guys can go ahead and post it and I'll get it on there for you guys. I appreciate all you for being here and doing all of this. All right. Time for Better to Book. I get good stuff now here at Better to Book It time where Dave likes it, he bets it, he doesn't, he books it. Packers +2 tonight.
I think they're going to win. I've been thinking they're going to win all along. I'm going to say book it though, and say the Eagles are going to win.
Well, the Eagles will win
today. Yeah, I don't know.
They can win. Packers will cover.
True. This will be a real skill shot. 31-30, something like that. Oh, I
teasing.
Think this is good. I think this is good. No, seriously, this is good. This is a good teaser. Like, and again, this is where it's gonna. I don't want to say it can't be the other way, but like, I don't think the Eagles are blowing the Packers out. I'm actually concerned that the Packers can blow the Eagles out.
Well, here's our Julian Edlow stat of the day. I'll give Jules the shout out because we saw him today, and he said this. Only if you look at the wins for the Eagles over the last 2 years, only 3 of them have come by more than 1 score.
So
It's
I
like
actually
3 and
wrote it
16.
down. I
Okay.
got it from Julian. So out of the last 18 games,
Okay.
if you have the opponent of the Eagles +8, you're 15-3. It's only 3 times. So when they win, they don't win by a lot. So the T's are super in play against them. I'm with you. I would take it down and go over based on Pedro's report about the weather and all this other stuff.
Perfect.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to get a game where both teams are going to have success offensively. So
I would agree.
Yeah.
Before we get to college for tomorrow, a game tonight. Lynx laying 2.5 against the Fever. I've hit 4 straight WNBA bets.
Yeah, this is probably a bet. This
Fever's
would be one
win
of
streak
those
ends.
ones.
Their win streak ends here. I think the Lynx might be the best team in the WNBA. So I think that they kind of put the Fever back in their place tonight and say, you're a nice little story. You got hot, but we got you.
Right.
Rocking atmosphere tonight, though, in Indiana. That's going to be a crazy atmosphere.
It's going to be fun.
Playoff
Right.
preview. Oh, it's
Yeah.
painted 3. All right. So I got a little CLV on that game.
Yeah.
Thanks, Muji. So Lynx -2.5. Over Colorado. I bet this midweek. Way different number. You can play 55 right now. Huge move to the under.
Wow. I like over too. I don't like over your number. I mean,
Right.
if you're watching the show live or listening, which again, the podcast form of this is available wherever you get podcasts.
Oh, yeah.
If you haven't already, and you can, go leave a review, at least on the Apple Podcast, and pop it up there. Or on the, can you leave reviews on Spotify?
Now you can. Yes.
You
They've
can,
changed
right?
it. You can. Yep.
Okay. So go leave a review. If you listen to the show and you don't watch or participate in a live chat, that would be a way to help us. Go
Sure.
leave a review this week or this weekend or whatever.
Definitely.
I think over 55 is good. That's a bet.
I think 60 points get scored. I think 40-20. I would lay it with Nebraska too, but I haven't yet. I'm going to watch and see how that game goes in game.
Right.
Under 36, Iowa State. I disagree with Brommelkamp.
Yeah, I'm with Brommelkamp on this one. I say
Okay.
book this one. I think the game does go over. I think
If he's
with the
right
changes-
and Iowa wins, but if Iowa wins by double digits, this game's going
Oh.
under.
Oh yeah, yeah.
If
Because
it's 24-14,
Iowa State one-dimensional and they're done.
yeah, like he thinks it's 24-14. That's possible, I guess, for a double-digit win to have that, but it could easily be like 24 or 21-7, or 21-10, and the game stays under. So if Iowa's up big, I don't know how many points Iowa State's going to score. I mean, that's my question. I don't think Iowa State's going to score.
Right.
I'm going to throw you a curveball on 2 more
Okay.
games. California +13.5 against Auburn. This is a skill shot for my boys down south
How did this one even?
because I got people on the ground.
Auburn's not.
Number was too high. It's down to 12, 11.5.
Let's see. I don't.
Auburn's
even know.
not blowing out anybody.
I don't even know where this game's at on the list. What's the game number that I can't? Oh, there it is. Wow, 323, 324, 12, 12.5, 11.5. You say take Cal?
I got 13.5.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I'll say bet it, I guess.
Okay. I bought it up. Michigan State +10 on the road against Maryland.
Oof.
Maryland wins. Michigan State covers.
Yeah, I'll say book it. Why'd you buy it to 10?
It was 9.5. It was cheap.
It just makes you feel better, like you sleep at night. Like,
Push potential on it. I'd rather push on 10 than lose on a hook.
that's fine.
It's cheap. It was -124. It wasn't expensive.
Okay.
So I did that. And then 2 NFL plays. I like the Cowboys outright, but +2.5.
Oh, I'll book this one. I like Cleveland.
You know what is Deshaun Watson to you?
I have no idea. It's as much of a play against Dallas as it is against on Cleveland. I think Cleveland's defense is the best unit on the field.
Oh, that's possible, but I'm not sure.
That will win this game.
But the Cowboys defense isn't bad.
No, not at all. Listen, it's going to be a close game. I don't feel. I don't know if this would be in the top 5 of plays, but I mean, I'm on the Bettis show, and I had to send in a video.
Okay.
And they want the division games picked, so I picked Cleveland in the game.
Okay. I like the Rams plus 4.5. Detroit wins by 3.
I also used the Rams in the video. I don't know what the move was today. Somebody announced out or something for the Rams. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm leaning Rams. Can they win outright?
Rams, yes, but I don't think they will. But they can, sure. Jared Goff revenge game. Everyone's calling it. I don't buy it.
Could get ugly.
For the Rams or Detroit kill the Rams?
It turns that way.
I don't know.
I mean, Stafford, coming back, revenge game for who? This is a great football game. I think this will be. I don't know. It feels like a dead over.
Potentially, yeah. Sorry, JPC. Sorry. I said you guys win by 3. You win by 3. This is as much a play on the number as it is against the Lions.
I don't know. I feel like this will be one of those ones where the team with the ball last will win. Like Detroit,
which is okay. Which I'd
drive down,
give me the dog
dramatically.
Yeah,
right.
That's the same like last night. Ravens had the ball last. Give me the dog in that situation. I'd rather
have
the dog.
Very similar type game. I think.
So if that happens and the Rams are driving and I have a chance to get either game-winning touchdown or Lions cover by 3 or whatever it might be. So, favorite thing about today is what?
So we had a quick meeting downtown and signed up a couple more home stretch. My favorite thing about today is that after today, we'll be moving on to putting in the picks.
Right.
It's been a long, fun summer, and you know what? Are we not going to hear the That's my favorite thing about today. The stinger.
Unbelievable.
Roll call Friday. All of it. Everything. It's all good.
Yeah.
Was it gross?
For me on the way out, it's the fact that you guys voluntarily fucking put Russell Wilson on your roster with Justin Fields, and you have a quarterback controversy in game number 1.
He's questionable.
In game number 1, you have a quarterback controversy.
What the fuck is going on?
That's my favorite thing about today is that we don't know who's playing quarterback for the Steelers, and it's Friday at 1:30.
Game's on Sunday. Shit.
We don't know who they're going to start.
Game's on Sunday.
Favorite thing about today. Fellas and ladies, get your picks in. We can't wait to work with you guys. We can't wait to see you at the end of the season. It's an 18-week sprint, marathon, whatever you want to call it. But week by week, it's an emotional roller coaster, okay? If you go 0-5, doesn't mean you can't go 5-0 the next week, okay? Get your picks in. Get your plays. I was going over it this morning with Amanda. I don't know what I would play either. Those 5 games, trying to find 5 games to pick for the Circa Million is hard as hell now. I get it. This is going to be a really interesting year. The numbers are all perfect. They're right where you want to be. There's hooks and trap doors and traps everywhere. Yep. So best of luck. Just get your picks in. Looking forward to seeing all you guys and what you do this coming weekend for week 1 of the NFL and week 2 of college football. He's Dave. I'm Matt. Thank you to Sean Callahan and Todd Brommelkamp both coming in. That was a lot of fun for a return to Fight Song Friday. We'll keep rolling with that. If you guys like that, we'll keep rolling with that. That was a lot of fun to go ahead and do that. We'll talk big college football games and go to the sites of those big college football games. We're back Monday. Full recap of everything on a Rhythm Monday. Hope to see you guys there back with us here for a Monday edition of BVB.